Now, every year, there are a number of mega art shows that take place in different parts of the world and fuel the international art market. One of them was held here in the U.S. Africa 54's Zoe Leoudaki was at the Armory Show and talked to a lot of artists and gallerists.
The Armory Show, an annual New York tradition, was devoted this year for the first time ever to contemporary art from and about Africa. Under the title African Perspectives, the two curators, Yvette Mutumba and Julia Grosse, bring together artists of varied practices and points of view.
The idea really is to invite a young generation of artists who work in very different media, from drawing to photo to installation, and also work with different topics that concern them. But of course there are also specific themes that come up yet and again because they're simply things that are relevant to their realities.
This work by Dan Holter, or Dan's work in general, speaks about migration, particularly migration within the African continent and the position of the refugee.
Dan Holter is a white Zimbabwean artist currently living in South Africa. New York media refer to him as an artist to watch.
So this work is titled Patterns of Migration, which is obviously a visual pun on the patterning, and also, if we look over to that map, patterns of movement within the geopolitical borders. This sculpture of the bags basically shows the refugee or immigrant as an identityless or faceless traveler.
The bags and the woven material he uses are not accidental.
These bags are traded by the artist with people entering South Africa, often on the Zimbabwean South African border. So each bag has a lived history.
Another artist to watch is photographer Namsun Luba. Her work speaks of African identity, seen through Western eyes. Her series Zulu Kids is informed by her Guinean descent.
All these people look like a statuette because in my religion, from my mother's side, I am animist, and we use statuette like tools. It's like to try to work with the invisible to make it visible.
Kenyan artist Ito Malinda's work negotiates personal and national identity with her piece titled Representation. And South African sculptor Jared Ginsberg creates an almost immaterial piece of kinetic sculpture called Loop in Bamboo that, unless you stop what you're doing and look closely, you might miss it. For Africa 54, I'm Zoe Leoudaki.